Okay, I'm gonna do one more game recording for tonight, I guess. It's either this. Okay, so immediately I'm noticing that for whatever reason, there's a lot of games tonight that I randomly picked out that have a very particular green look to them. I don't know why. I guess, or it could just be that it's spring here and everyone's feeling like grass. I genuinely don't know, but this one seems interesting. It also sort of uses a sort of photography narrative kind of thing again. This one I'm not entirely sure about, but as you can see, it also has a very similar feeling as well. And then this one, I truly don't know what it's about, but I think it's about like just interacting with various creatures. So I'll probably just play this one for now, because these two I think you have to download, and I'm just kind of lazy currently, so I'll check out this one first and then maybe download the other two and play them tomorrow perhaps. Yeah. So this is... what is this? This is In Your Virtue. Let's turn it down a little bit. Pretty cool art style. I feel like I say this about everything, but I guess I'm just enthusiastic about art in general. Okay, let's start. A distant voice. Falling asleep at the table? Warm light seeps past your eyelids, but you don't remember when you last shut them. A hushed voice speaks directly to you. The voice seems foreign, yet the sound of it contains a hint of familiarity. You don't quite understand, but it echoes like a memory on the far side. It lingers for a brief moment before settling heavy in your chest. Did you get enough sleep last night? Your eyes flutter open, the world slowly sharpening from a soft blur. A lithesome? I've never heard of that term before. A lithesome man sits across a dining table, folded arms resting on the cloth-covered edge. When your eyes meet, an odd wave of déjà vu flashes over you as you examine his face. He has soft, refined features that make his eyes appear calmer than they truly are. His gaze turns towards you, though it does not quite meet your own. Or is it you whose gaze fails to meet his? You have been staring far too long, haven't you? As the moment stretches in silence, a mimicry of confusion stirs across his expression, traced only by the slightening? I was trying to combine the word slightest and tightening. I just made up a new word, slightening. A slightest tightening of his brow. I do that sometimes. Anyway, a lock of hair slips over his eye, and he sweeps it into place with the tip of his pointer? Though it feels like your mind is drawing blanks, you find yourself responding naturally, as if this man was someone you had spoken to before. Someone familiar. Oh, sorry, yes, I'm fine. I guess I didn't get quite as much sleep as I hoped. The man only hummed in response. I see. The sudden shriek of a chair leg scraping against the tiled flooring makes your heart drop. There's hardly any time to react before he's standing in right beside you, having crossed the room to where you were sitting in just a few... He was literally just sitting across the room on a chair. That's just kind of interesting. Why does this remind me of like the egg guy? Like it's a 4chan green text story. Anyway, for those that know, they'll know. He's not going to hurt you. You don't believe he ever has. But what if he does? You can't move. Was it something you said? You part your lips with a sharp inhale, but the words seem to die in your mouth the moment his fingertips brush against your bicep. You don't know what he's going to do, but your heart thrashes against your ribs as you feel his gaze lingering over you. But his touch is steady when it comes. A hand pressed lightly on your shoulder blades. He draws you upward, guiding to your feet. He's about to do like chiropractic. For a few moments, the two of you still stand still, his hand still holding your arm. His grip was so delicate, it felt almost as if he were caressing you instead of holding you. You felt a little more relaxed. He lingers at the edge of your vision, and still your eyes refuse to break from his. Why would you? He is still gentle, still composed, maybe because he isn't real. But you can feel his hand on your wrist. You can slightly hear his breath as he stands right beside you when his arm moves the slightest bit. Silk whispers against your shoulder in a delicate graze. He feels real. You suddenly turn your head and avert your eyes, breaking the eye contact between the two of you and the momentary tension with it. This reminds me of this time I was at a residential program, and my therapist, we were just like chatting outside. Like I was in a seat and they were in a seat and we were on a table. For whatever reason, they just like started staring at me for a while. I think it was just like we were talking about something and there was just nothing else to say. So I just kind of like stared back, and we were literally staring at each other for like at least 10 to 15 seconds, which I know doesn't sound like a long time, but imagine staring at anybody for like 10 to 15 seconds silently, and this is like someone just random, for that long in silence. They kind of like looked somewhere else after a while, but I just thought I didn't really think much of it at the time, but like thinking about it again now, I'm just like, whoa, that was something. I guess there was also like another person I was talking to in that program, and they were telling me the craziest like out of body experiences that they had, and something about like spirits from their kitchen in their apartment being like sleep paralysis entities and kind of like struggling with that. And then I was like, maybe there was, I forgot what I said, but like I was talking about something and they were like, oh yeah, maybe that's what it was. So I hope I helped clarify something maybe. But they were talking about like how sometimes they would just like astral project and then like visit other planets in the solar system, and how it would just be like really cool and pretty. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Anyway, the side of his knuckle tilts your chin upwards, his skin cool against yours. Gently, he turns your face toward his once again. You feel inclined to meet his gaze once more. He reaches out, sweeping the loose strands from your face, simply to look without obstruction. You shiver. Would you like to go bed early tonight then? I'd hate to keep you up if you're fatigued. I'm trying to voice act a little bit more. It takes you a few moments to process his words. Yes, that would be nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to disappoint. You manage a small apologetic smile. Don't apologize. Your health is my priority. You entirely are my priority. Don't you think that's a little cheesy? You giggle, although you couldn't help but feel a little awkward at his sudden small outburst of devotion. Cheesy? No, not at all. Well, at least not to me. Is it cheesy to prioritize the one I love over everyone or everything else? What a silly question. Isn't that what you want to hear? You ask me stupid questions like, would I love you if I was a man? Or do you hate me all the time? It's fair I ask a stupid question of my own, no? Would I love you if I was a man? What? Huh? I need to do some work. I was going to hold it off until tomorrow, but I think you should wake up. I think they meant to say, like, would you love me if I were a man, maybe? Or, like, would I love you if I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to say there. Huh? Oh. Jump scare. Plumbed male? Get up. A figure dressed in all white stands before you, face merely inches from your own, way too close. You yelp, waking up fully if only to skitter back. And this seems a little bit more dreamlike. That's interesting. Whoa, there's a lot. Okay, stare back. You look like a deer lost in headlights, your pupils dilating to match his own. The stranger's blank gaze meets yours and he stares back at you for a little longer. He suddenly raises his hand and waves his hand in front of your face. At a closer glance, you notice that his hands contain talons. Oh, you suppose that makes sense. He certainly looks bird-esque. Come on. Come on, use your words. It's rude to stare. You continue to stay silent. If you won't speak up, there's nothing I can do for you. Don't waste my time, please. It's hard to explain when a pretty man like you is staring me down. You watch as the bird flinches, eyes widening as your words seem to process in his head. He averts his gaze, turning his head slightly to the side, but you're still able to see a faint red paint in his cheeks. Oh, that's cute. To a stranger, how crude. You couldn't get yourself in serious troubles with... Oh, you could get yourself in serious trouble with those words. Don't fling them around. He turns his head back towards you once he lets out a small cough. He tries to meet your gaze again, but it seems that after your words, it was hard for him to maintain eye contact. Can you be serious now? He huffs a little under his breath. Your face is, you know... I don't need to know that. Just stop talking. He grumbles before glancing at you yet again. You can have your opinions, though I Rebecca Black, though I recommend you not to throw yourself onto strangers so carelessly in the future. You have better things to worry about, other than my appearance, don't you? You sigh, pausing for a moment. Well, go on, answer my question. Explain your situation in detail. I don't really know what happened or how I ended up here. I mean, I had a dream. I was sitting at a table with a guy. We just had small talk, that's all. He picked me up and comforted me, and then I went to bed. It wasn't frightening, more so like oddly familiar. It felt like it would turn into a nightmare, you know, like with a twist, and then it didn't. Maybe I'm just lonely. I don't know. Ah, is that so? If you want my opinion, there's no point in looking into it any further. Dreams are just that, dreams. There's no way for me to find meaning with what little I have. I wouldn't worry about it though. What you should think about is where you are right now. You should figure out where you want to go from here on out. So you really don't know where you came from, had no life prior to now, or forgot? I see, a case of amnesia or something of that sort. It gets the best of us. We're between the shoreline and town, in case it helps with anything. Maybe? Huh, I see. Right, your name? You don't remember what you were initially called by. Maybe it's time for a fresh start. I'm Amlam. My name is Amlam. I do like how there's a kind of recurring trend, I feel like, of like characters being like, what was my name again? And then it just directly leads into Amlam, obviously. Alright, it's Takanome, by the way. If you need it, you can stay by my place for the night, unless you want to die out here. I won't stop you. Okay, that's fine. That'd be nice. Yeah, I'll come with you then. Mind your manners. I wouldn't want you making my house a pigsty. Sorry, rude of me to assume. Wow, that is kind of rude. You and the bird make your way to his house, which is not too far from where you woke up. The walk is quiet, but you don't mind. You just want to rest easy for the night. We're here. Is this like a hobbit hole? You tilt your head, staring at the house nestled between hills and shrubbery. In a way, you expected him to live like this. Is that considered profiling? What? You shake your head to clear any negative thoughts and continue walking, intrusive thoughts hitting hard. The two of you walk along the backgrounds are very nice. The makeshift path that led all the way up to the small but surprisingly cute wooden door. Leave your shoes at the door. He opens the door and I guess that's customary here in the forest realm. I guess the forest realm dwellers, the forest realm bird dwellers have a thing about shoes maybe and leaving the shoes at the door. But maybe some other places are like, yeah, just keep your shoes on, it's whatever. He opens the door and makes his way in, having to duck down slightly just to fit through the short door frame. You couldn't help but giggle to yourself at the sight, although you immediately ease your laughter once he turns his back slightly to send you a sharp glare. Takanome disappears from your sight once he fully steps inside, but you were still able to hear the cluttering sounds of him removing his boots. The interior was minimalistic to say the least. You believe you're standing in the living room, but it's almost hard to tell due to how little decoration there is. The main room you were standing in consisted of a couch, a small table in front of it, and a few oddly placed lamps that make it seem like he had just moved in. Oddly enough, when you look to the other side of the room, you additionally notice a wardrobe, some drawers, and a mirror in one secluded in the corner. You give Takanome a smile as if to say, wow. The writers are being a little bit cheeky here. Anyway, as if to say, damn, you really live like this? He doesn't seem to notice. I mean, that's pretty... I don't know if that's applicable to this situation. This seems like a pretty nice, well put together, like, home. I feel like the you really live like this is more applicable to like the single mattress on the floor and a bunch of like trash thrown around and like a monitor or something in the corner. I don't know. There seemed to be a few other rooms, but you couldn't quite see what was in them. You turned to Takanome, who had been standing awkwardly a distance away. You could tell he didn't usually have guests over. You wait for a brief moment before walking in after him, stopping to take off your own shoes. You make sure your shoes sit nicely or neatly before straightening up and taking in your surroundings. Your eyes trail toward the restless forest, unable to make out the path you just walked on. Oh, where do I sleep? On the floor. Depends. Just don't go through my things. Making a small talk is harder than you thought. You can't tell if you're bothering him with stupid questions, but you can only pray the stiffness in his replies is because you two are merely strangers. Still, the way he replies leaves a sour taste in your mouth. Stranger or not, he shouldn't be so blunt. Unless you like it that way. In some ways, I think it's fine. This is like low context communication. Your body feels heavy, but maybe you can wedge in a few minutes of small talk. I don't feel like Takanome is the small talker type, but maybe. Let's just talk to him, whatever. Or them, I don't know. This looks very different. The inside of this is not what I was expecting the interior of the house to look like, given the outside, but I guess don't judge a hobbit hole front porch by its cover. Something like that. Anyway, you shuffle towards the bedroom to find Takanome. You want to talk? It'd be better for you to sleep now, considering the condition you're in. The night is still young, after all. You pout a little, and Takanome seems to catch sight of it. His gaze lingers on you for a brief moment before he looks away from your face with a sigh. Fine, if that's what you want, I'll oblige for a bit. I'll only be up for a few. I don't want to neglect too much sleep. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. So there's... never mind. I'm more exhausted than I thought. There's why did you save me? There's what are you? There's how did you find me again? You're not going to kill me, right? Like, this isn't a setup? Are you single? About my dream, do you know who this guy is? The one with greenish hair? Yeah, I kind of just want to find out like more information, get like assess the situation overall. I think that's probably the move here. Not particularly. There's a lot of guys with green hair. Even if I did know him, I'm afraid I may have to hide it from you. For all I know, you could be hiding something from me too. Like I said before, it's best not to dwell too much on these visions. You'll start living in your impossible dreams, whatever that lingers or in your mind. What matters is if you're standing or not right now. It doesn't matter if you knew him or not, because you know nothing now. Your mind has a great explanation for why he's just a hazy memory, I'd assume. Okay, so I guess we could just go through everything. How do you find me again? I found you lying on the ground, unconscious. I thought you were some tossed-aside servant. Do not make me repeat myself. You said you were watching over me for how long again? An hour. You happened to be passed out when I was walking around the area. It's where people perform rituals or campfire songs more than they should. Maybe they like summoned Amlam or something. Ritual? Are you saying I'm not a person? I'm not real? Don't jump to conclusions. I only said rituals happen here. It's not the explanation you're looking for, so don't twist my words out of some paranoia. It's a waste of time to worry about if you're real or not. You're here, aren't you? If you keep dwelling in your own mind, you won't be able to decide on what to do now. That's not easy. If I knew why I was here, I wouldn't be here with you, would I? He lets out an exhale through his nose. Fair. Still, panicking won't give you any answers. So, do you usually watch people for that long? Stalker! You're ungrateful. I could have left you aside when I saw you in the area. If I did that, you'd be nothing more than a mangled corpse. The blood would be on my hands, partially at least. So consider this generosity. I'm in a fairly good mood. You blink. This is his good mood? The corners of your mouth twitch, caught between a smile and a frown. Close your mouth. It's getting dry. I can. It's 4:20 after all. How did they know? Anyway, close your mouth. It's getting dry. I can tell from here. Don't look so agape. I'm answering your questions. It's what you wanted. What else? Are you single? Are you stupid? Getting so defensive for what? I'm curious. There's nothing wrong with being single. Everyone has their own reasons, so. He tilts his head back, letting out a small yet exasperated sigh. I'm letting you ask these questions so you don't die out there. You're wasting them on these useless things. So that's a... Yes, whatever relationships I had are in the past, no matter how fun they were. You notice the corners of his mouth twitch. Did you guys break up because you're too blunt? People don't appreciate advice. I merely say what helps them. However, that's irrelevant. You're awfully nosy, so you could be curious about better things. You're the one who gave me an explanation. I should have figured you'd want to know more at some point. He inhales sharply. Alas, let's focus on you, shall we? What are you? A bird. Is that good enough? What my ethos let me be. What? I don't understand what you're confused about. You pinch the bridge of your nose. He's speaking nonsense. You're not gonna kill me, right? Do you want me to say yes? He lets the silence comfortably stretch between you and himself. Takanomi cranes his neck. Cranes. To let your question sink in. Exhaling softly and deliberately slow. That's me. If that's what comforts you, I can arrange something. Why do you save me? I felt bad. That's all? Tell me something. Takanome straightens his body facing towards you. It's probably the first time he's looked at you head on. What separates a wolf and a human? I don't know. Wolves are scarier. They walk on 4 legs. He tilts his head slightly, his eyes lingering towards her knees. A wolf always bares its fangs before it bites. Are we in the Omegaverse now or whatever? When it growls, when it lowers its head, it's obvious what it wants from you, what its next move is. Everything it does is a warning. Duh, that's what animals do. Exactly. A wolf bares its fang for survivals. Hold on. Okay, hold on. A wolf bears its fang for survival, hunger, fear, whatever it may be, correct? And humans are different? How? Humans aren't known for their fangs, are they? This guy reads so much like Omegaverse AO3/Wattpad fanfic in his like spare time, I'm sure of it. You can feel his gaze linger at every subtle shift in your body. That's because they hide them. What makes human terrifying aren't their teeth or their fists. It's their smile, one that hides every venom one can possibly think of. And when they sink their fangs to you, they hide it with a look of naivety because they can. So you hate people and what? Is that all? How does that relate to me? What are you trying to get at? Humans are the only creature that have weaponized their appearance with a cold precision. I don't think I'm like that. That's because you don't know what you're capable of. So why did you tell them? Anyway. Never mind. I'm more exhausted than I thought. Is that all? Then I'll take my rest as well. One more thing. Nothing, huh? Good night. I guess would just be it. Like just the most annoying guest at somebody's house of all time. Anyway, let's look around the house. Curious, you walk around from the spot where you had been standing with the urge to explore, to know more about Takanome, as he was a stranger for the most part. So there's a mirror. You don't really have a reflection, I guess. I mean, this is just sort of like generic YN sort of nothing character, sort of, is my impression so far, but maybe they might add a little bit more. We'll see. Maybe you woke up from really bad plastic is this Korea or something? Organ donations? That explains it. Oh, okay, so you do see yourself. Nonetheless, you lift your head to gaze into a reflecting glass. You see a face. Why are they wearing a choker? That's just so random. Your face. You take in each feature as if it were the first time you've ever seen them. Your long, deep blue hair... Okay. Your long, deep blue hair frames your face. You have dark eyes and fair skin, hardly a blemish. You wear a long white nightgown with a blue bow, paired with a black choker around your neck, as well as long black sleeveless gloves, black stockings, and boots. I don't know what it is with bows. Actually, I did meet someone. Like we were like meeting up, and they had like a. I think it was a red bow. It was either a red or a yellow bow. And it was interesting because like I'm not entirely sure why, but they looked really embarrassed when like we met up. I don't know why. I might have just looked like really weird to them or something, but like literally their entire face just like went like red, and I'm not sure why that happened. It was just kind of awkward, but anyway, we kind of like got along kind of well enough after that, and then just like never hung out again. It was kind of weird, but anyway. Your clothing, for the most part, you had already seen and been aware of. They're admiring the drip. It was your face that had you oh, come on. That had you stuck in a trance, as if you were a narcissist seeing his reflection in the water for the very first time. I mean, I don't know if it's all that, but I mean, if that's, you know what? No, it's they're living in the moment. It's fine. But your fascination wasn't necessarily because of your beauty, in this case, but because of how foreign your own face looked to you. You morph your face, switching between are they a shapeshifter? Or skinwalker? Switching between expressions like you're playing with a pup. Okay, this is a very weird way of describing It's not like totally not understandable, but anyway. In seeing your own appearance, you would feel at least some sense of familiarity. The idea that perhaps this... I don't want you looking around. What? Sorry. Was only looking at myself, haha. Making sure my outfit looked fine. Okay, I don't understand how they were lying around in a forest, presumably on like dirt and grass and just like random stuff, and then their dress just looks like completely spotless. That doesn't seem to check out to me, but whatever. You shuffled towards Takanome, clenching your dress. Okay? He turns toward what you assume is his bedroom. Would you like to toggle the MC sprite? Not particularly. If you can change your mind, you can toggle it in preferences. Okay, we'll just ask them to stay. Okay, can you stay by me for tonight? Takanome's apathetic expression falters at your words. You look like you're trying to imply something. I'll make this clear. I refuse to sleep beside you. That's good. They're setting their boundaries. I mean, it would be kind of weird if like a stranger, a total stranger was just like, hey, can I just like sleep beside you tonight? Just out of nowhere. I kind of respect Takanome more and more, like the more that I'm chatting with him. Like I kind of like Takanome. They're very clear and direct with their communication, even though it might be interpreted as blunt. But they seem very just direct and truthful for the most part. They clearly know how to like establish personal boundaries, and yeah, they just know, like they expect that there are certain like things a guest should adhere to in their dwelling. Like, just don't like go through a person's house and like make a mess, which and like don't like ask absurd questions. But I don't know. I guess it's fine too. Like MC or YN is Umlum is just curious about the world, I guess, and has a lot of just like curious overall, a lot of questions and everything. Anyway, I feel like Umlum in this setting is just mostly trying to get information and just trying to like assess like the situation, just because they have amnesia. So they're just trying to like yeah, they're just trying to like build out the scenario they're in and understand like what is happening. So they're just trying to be like a little bit of a bother, but not like push it too far. Anyway, you look like you're trying to imply something. I'll make this clear. I refuse to sleep beside you. There's only so much hospitality I can give to... That is so true. Not that I'd hate it, but I'm not asking for much. Can you just sit there until I fall asleep? I don't want to be alone. You're certainly something, aren't you? It's like you're trying to get under my skin. Alas, I'm waiting between being impressed and irritated right now. Anyways, I suppose I can do that. You shuffle towards his bed, making yourself comfy on that right... Wow. Okay, whatever. Takanome pulls the body pillow in the middle, creating a makeshift barrier between you two. He slumps against the bedboard, crossing his arms. It's the body pillow of the first character. Don't get close. I'm sure you can guess why. I'd hate the thought of spending more time than I need to, just to set some up. Yes, this is what I'm talking about, boundaries. Anyway, rest well, Umlum. I kind of respect Takanome, to be honest. Umlum. It's still dark. You find it hard to see, though your face drowns in the pale warmth of the moonlight. What if you snuck out now? Takanome would be upset, very. Why would he be upset? He kind of doesn't want you here. Anyway, but what if there's more to it, something you can find? No, just leave. Like, okay, maybe that wasn't the best idea, actually. But I feel like maybe we're gonna like enter the bad boy route possibly now. I'm just like trying to see what like the other characters are. Anyway, you tipped out of bed, tidying it before slipping past the entrance. You feel bad for not saying goodbye, but you can apologize the next time you two meet. Walking past the same route as before, you end up in the same position when you wake up for the first time. Let's explore the forest. You should not delve deeper, but I'm only doing this just because I think it unlocks like a different character option probably.